welcome to the Science Faction Podcast, where science meets fact meets fiction.
This is Science Faction for the week of... Oh, I didn't check. What month is it?
This is April.
April
6th.
Energy's off.
We're professionals.
April 6th, 2026. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen Dominguez. And with me here this afternoon is...
uncomfortably close, Benjamin Daniel Alice. We're sitting back, and here we are, back in the tree.
Back in Ben's office again.
Yeah, and this time, Stephen, I'm hoping that you don't have a severe allergic reaction to the pets in this area.
I am with agreement with you on that. I do not want to be severely impacted by your rats.
That is why we haven't been... we could record at your house. We could record at my house.
Sure.
But, they all present their own challenges. And so we're just dealing today. Devin's not here. He's sick. Poor guy. I hope
we took all of our allergies and sent them to Devin.
Yeah.
So he's dealing with those.
Texans, sorry, Texas. You guys get our allergies now, I guess.
They're taking everything else from California, like our Devins and...
Yeah, all our best friends. Yeah.
Devin's sick. I imagine it has something to do with Easter gatherings, which happened this weekend.
Yeah.
Did you guys do anything for Easter?
Oh man, yeah, we had my in-laws over, and we had a lot of tacos and drama. So, how about you?
Well, I got to type in-laws and tacos and drama. That should be a T-shirt. We went and visited family down in Santa Maria, and we left. And this was pre-planned. Left our kids there with them.
Oh wow!
Because it's their spring break. And so they can have a couple of nights at Auntie and Uncle's house.
That's cool.
They're old enough
for all that. Right?
No, they've done it once before, one night, and this time it's 2 nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you that their cousin is like...
Oh, he's over the moon.
Yeah,
because he's 5. My kids are 7 and 11. It's a good spread.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've only gotten good reports from it so far. So one night in, we're good. Okay. And so now today, it's my day off. I haven't had a day off like this in a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, with my team traveling so much, and yeah, dude, it's nice to have these every once in a while, especially when you got 2 kids that are 7 and 11, or 6 and 11.
7, no 7.
Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna be 8 at the end of June,
dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a teenager at the end of June.
Oh. There will be a June where I get to say I now have 2 teenagers.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Time is slipping.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of kids, this is something I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
Because every now and then, our children introduce us to something that we never would have been introduced to, well, at least in my... you're different with cartoons, but with my kids, we give them free range to watch what's in their age bracket.
Okay.
And
across whatever streaming services you guys currently
typically
have.
It's Disney, and so we have a kids profile, and it's set to they can only watch age appropriate materials. And so I'll monitor it. I'll see what are they into right now, and watch okay, so this is what this is teaching, or it's not, or whatever. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But as they get older and older, that's becoming more and more lax, because we can trust them more. We know that we've taught them certain morals, and they know they're comfortable. We know that they are comfortable enough to come to us to talk about questions that they have if it's questionable material. Anyways, my youngest, who's 7, as we've discussed, has a new friend at school, and they went to her birthday party.
Oh, that's how they get you.
That's how they get you at the birthdays. It was Gravity Falls themed.
Yeah.
What do you know about Gravity Falls, sir?
I've watched the first 2 episodes of Gravity Falls. They were incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But it was it's essentially X-Files meets Invader Zim. is like it's like energy levels of Invader Zim, but it's two kids at a summer camp that are going through like the dealing with all of the myths that you would hear around the campfire are real, and
Okay.
they're uncovering them all.
You're close.
Okay.
You're very close.
Okay.
So my youngest has now watched both seasons. There's only two.
Yeah. Okay.
And there is an in-game, in-universe book that's very important to the central plot. And they have recreated that book in real life. And she's now spent her own money to purchase that book.
Oh wow.
So let me talk about Gravity Falls for a minute, because it has a sci-fi bend to it in kind of a fun way. So in your explanation, you were almost correct, and I don't want to be too verbose about this, but it is twins, Dipper and Mabel, are sent to their grand uncle Stan's, and they call him Grunkle. Grunkle Stan's mystery shack, which is like a place where people would go to, like a roadside attraction kind of place. That's clearly a ripoff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at this mystery thing, and it's like a jar full of pig's eyeballs or something. It's like, okay, and you spend $5 to go and look at all the weird stuff, and so he's very clearly like a con man, and it's very yes. So in the first episode, Mabel decides that she's going boy crazy and tries to date a local that her brother Dipper sees as definitely a zombie. and and it's sulky teen, but there's also like roots sticking out of his head and groans a lot. And then the final straw was that he saw like his hand fall off and like put the hand back on. He's like, it's definitely a zombie. So the show is like, here is a trope that we're going for, and then they subvert it. So when he finally confronts what's going on, the boy is like, I got to tell you something that's true about myself, and then takes off the mask and clothes, and it's a bunch of gnomes, like garden gnomes, and they're trying to take her to become their new queen. So it goes from like this kind of a standard out in the woods creepy thing, and flips it on its head to be weird and strange and wonderful.
Yeah.
Now the book comes in where, again, in this first episode, Dipper is running through the forest for some reason. This is like in the middle of Oregon is where it's supposed to be. So it's Pacific Northwest coded, if you will. He's running through the trees, and then he hits one of them, and it sounds like metal, and he like knocks on it, and a door pops open, and he presses a button inside, and nearby the ground opens, and there's this book that has a 6-fingered hand on it, and it says journal, and then a number 3. It's journal number 3. And so this turns into the like MacGuffin of like, how do we solve this? I don't know. I'll look in the journal. But there's also the mystery of who wrote the journal. Why does the journal suddenly stop halfway through? And then the character of Dipper decides, well, this is my journal now, so then I will continue entries on about the stuff that we encounter. So this physical thing that my child spent real money for, I'm so proud of her, because she's like, I'm into this thing, and this is connected to that thing, and it's like it's from the show. And they do a really, really good job of the pages that are shown in the show are recreated exactly in the book.
That's cool.
And the show is good enough that it's consistent.
Yeah.
So from an adult point of view, so I see my kid watching this, get really interested in it, starts talking about all this wacky stuff about like, this is not really a zombie, but it's really a bunch of gnomes. And then they go to like, then there's a Loch Ness Monster style story, but it turns out it's the crazy old man built a mechanical, thing to scare people for fun. He doesn't know why, so it's all of these tropes that have been subverted in like this wacky way.
That's cool. I gotta say, like, I love when merch is set up to be in universe.
Yes.
Right? Like if I were to get a Buffy the Vampire Slayer shirt, I wouldn't want a t-shirt that said Buffy the Vampire Slayer on it. I'd want a t-shirt that said Sunnyvale High School.
Exactly.
Like
yeah. I have a had, I think I've donated it since because I don't fit in it anymore. But I had like a Blue Suns shirt from
Nice.
Firefly, but it's like the shirt that Jane wore. That's just the company logo for Blue Sun
Mm-hmm.
or Suns. Is it plural?
It's a singular sun.
Blue Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My Firefly lore is lacking.
Yeah, I mean, I just rewatched the whole thing,
Well,
so like,
there you go.
much like how off I was with Gravity Falls,
Yeah.
and you just,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah. Between the two of us, we've got a functioning brain cell.
I mean, mostly. So, anyways, now my oldest daughter has gotten into the show and we're watching it together. So I think we're 4 episodes in now. It's a good show. I've looked it up online, and the creator said the show was made to be a like how he always wanted his childhood to be. Like he went out
Oh,
to his grandfather and like out in the Pacific Northwest and like stayed with him for a summer. And these are the kinds of adventures that he was like dream about while he was out there.
that's so cool.
So it's only 2 seasons and it's that summer. Like it takes place in a couple of months. And like the journal entries in the journal are dated like in the same way.
Yeah.
There's also like a bunch of codes and there's mysteries, there's all kinds of stuff. And there's been consistent whispers about more being done
Okay.
because the creator Hirsch, anyways, was contracted to Netflix to do something for them for like 8 years, and he hasn't really done anything. Like pitched something and it was rejected, and like helped out with some other show, but his contract's almost up, and so the fans, the hardcore fans, which I totally get why there are hardcore fans of the show, are like yelling about a season 3 or
Yeah.
other things, which could be cool. Um, and the other thing about the show, this is the last thing I'll say about it, is that it is chronologically consistent.
Hmm.
In the 3rd episode, the on the sign, this is Mystery Shack, the S falls off for reasons,
Yeah.
and then it's off like the next episode.
Oh, okay.
And so there's things like that. So there is a way to watch the show. It's not like standard cartoon, old style Disney cartoon where you could watch any of them at any time, and it's like, and it does like a full reset by the end of the episode. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So,
Huh.
anyways, Gravity Falls, I recommend it. It's like 7 and up is like what it's rated for. There's some
Gotcha.
creepy things in it, but nothing. And my youngest, who is 7, will get scared of things still. And there was nothing in the show that scared her enough to like talk to me about it.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. That's been on my list for sure. Like, yeah, it's funny.
I found a 2.5 hour long YouTube video talking about the codes and how to break them within every episode of Gravity Falls. So
The codes.
there are codes everywhere, like different ciphers and stuff.
Okay.
At the end of every episode, as credits are rolling, there's like a little like epilogue scene, as the credits are going.
Yeah.
And then mixed in there will be like a line of letters or numbers or something. And it's when it was coming out like weekly, that was like, okay, here's the code to solve for next week.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like Fringe or something. Used to do stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, this creator loves doing stuff like that. The book is full of them,
Yeah.
just codes and ciphers, just like written all on the inside of it and
Oh,
stuff.
incredible. I mean, I gotta say,
Super
like,
fun.
to have something be a gateway to Fringe,
Mhm.
that's gotta be pretty good.
The Fringe Gateway.
Right? Like, I'm not.
All
I'm not gonna
roads
lie.
lead back to Fringe. What a good show.
It really does. It really does. And, I mean, rest in peace, James Vanderbeek, who was not on
Oh.
Fringe, but was on Dawson's Creek, along with Joshua Jackson, who was on Fringe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really sad
Yeah,
that he passed away.
He did, yeah. So that's but so like one of the things, Stephen, that I've talked about quite a bit on the show, fan films or fan edits of films, right? Where like
Yes.
sometimes the film that comes out isn't necessarily great, right? And so recently, CinemaSticks on YouTube
Mhm.
just put together a video. It was titled, "I deleted 119 minutes from a superhero movie and created art." And that,
Well, since art is subjective, I could do the exact same thing, Cinema Sticks.
yeah. However, the title is not the entire story, thankfully, and the basic gist of it was um, basically this the Danny Boyd who runs the Cinematics channel. What he did was he decided to take Spider-Man 3, which is an overblown, like, complete disaster of a film, the third in the Raimi trilogy with what's
Man,
yeah, it's got Sandman. What's the name of the actor who plays Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
So Tobey Maguire's in it, and it's much maligned. It has a lot. Like, it's just overflowing.
It's overstuffed,
Yeah.
and it seemed like it was the scuttlebutt is there was a lot of studio involvement,
Right.
and this was before Marvel Studios was in charge, so this was
Yeah.
other people doing stuff.
So Danny Boyd, he likes watching the film because there's a particular through line that he really appreciates, and that's the story of Sandman through it. And what he decided to do was he decided to cut together all the parts that he liked from that part of the story into an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yes.
And so this 15-minute video basically is not only you watching, like, his cut together video that's like, it's in black and white in 4:3 as a classic Twilight Zone episode, but it's narrated by Danny Boyd in such a way that kind of brings you through, like, okay, well, here's what I was trying to accomplish. Here is some of my favorite parts of the best episodes of Twilight Zones, why I think that this storyline fits the typical structure of a Twilight Zone, and then here it is.
Yeah, he took the movie as raw story and formed it into an episode of Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And it is compelling.
It really
I mean,
is.
just watching through his the explanations of his thought processes of what he cut and what he kept, and like how he would cut a scene short because it had a better impact or whatever. And a lot of times we talk about in these movies or TV shows about an A plot and a B plot, right? Spider-Man 3 had like 4 or 5 plots going on at once. So
too many villains, too many plots.
Yeah,
like,
the baggage of being the third part of a trilogy.
Yeah, well, like, oftentimes most superhero films, and I think it's kind of started for me with Spider-Man 3, is like, well, how many villains does this have? Then I could probably tell you how, like, what the tomato meter is going to be on it.
Yeah.
Subtract 10% for every extra villain.
Yeah. There probably is some math you could do. Yeah, it's really easy to be like, one movie, one villain. Second movie, 2 villains. It's like the two. Third movie, 3 villains is too many.
Yeah.
Not even unless. If you can call them a villain, that means they're a main character in your movie, and that's 3 antagonists to usually 1 protagonist, and it's to have them not just be silly caricatures. It just doesn't work. It's difficult to make work.
Yeah.
When you have something like, which I'm really excited to rewatch this when it finally comes out, and there's a date for it, but Spider-Man No Way Home, which has not been available on Disney Plus. It's coming to Disney Plus next month. It was released.
Okay. Weird.
No. Marketing.
Sure.
The new one's coming out in July. Here, catch up finally.
Okay.
It's like the Sony thing. They've got all these. They got their clamps into Spider-Man still.
You ever feel like we're just like marionettes dancing to the tune of the corporate jerks that are that aren't giving you what you pay for?
Every day I sharpen my scissors to cut those strings. Some days they're sharp enough. Some days they're not.
Okay. Just, like, I had no idea. I'm upset on your behalf.
No idea. How dare you?
I have no idea because I watch things other ways.
Yeah.
In many cases, and so, like, in many cases they are perfectly legitimate and legal.
Of course.
I have purchased
several
versions of
different accounts from different places. You can get stuff.
Right. Or thanks, mom. Where sometimes they buy the physical versions and they come with a digital code.
Oh, I remember
They'll give me a
that.
digital code.
Yeah, there you go.
like,
that works.
that's way cool. So like again, when it's time to watch a film that I have, I'll watch the film that I have. I go to where I know I'm going to get it.
Yes. So, and that's totally fair. I've been just waiting for it to pop up on something that I already pay for.
Yeah.
And I'm patient, and I've seen it once in the theater, and that when it was super good, and I'm excited to see it again.
Dude,
but my main point was though is that movie is chock full of supervillains, but it's orchestrated in such a way that only one of them really was a main character, was the true antagonist. And
Green Goblin.
Exactly, Green Goblin. All the rest were just bystanders in Goblin's chaos.
Well, they all were heroes. All of the villains that are not Green Goblin in that film are heroes of their own story. In ways that their ambitions are good. Their reasons for doing it are good. Green Goblin's the only one where you're just off your rocker.
Yeah, he's just insane.
Yeah.
So it can work in certain scenarios, and that is a very specific scenario.
I mean, with Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame.
They're the big crossover movie, and I think that's what Marvel has gotten right in the past is the crossover movies they make work, which is super interesting to me. Anyways. Oh, that was another thing I was going to put on my list, and I forgot. Daredevil. Have you been watching season 2 of Born Again?
No, I haven't. Good.
Yep.
Nice.
Good.
Excellent.
There was a premiere episode, and then they came out with episodes 2 and 3. So they're on the third episode, or the fourth episode is upcoming now.
Yeah.
But it from what I've learned since the first season is that the first season was heavily re-edited and redone partway through. Which in their favor, I think, because I enjoyed the first season.
Okay.
And now this season they're going in knowing what their plan is already, and you can tell.
Nice.
Everything hits just a little bit harder, if you will.
Okay, yeah. Which in that show, it's at its best when it's testing the characters,
it's firing on all cylinders. And there is just a banger. Hallway fights has been their thing, right? Since that first season of Daredevil,
dude,
doing a one take just brawl, and to varying effects, but the one that they did for this season so far was really good. So a lot of fun. He's got his black suit with a red DD on his chest finally. Because the red DD is being used as a rallying cry on the streets. So it's really turned into a symbol on its own, which is kind of cool. And they talk a lot about Frank Castle, Punisher, but reportedly he's not showing up in the season. But when the season is over, then there's going to be a Marvel, one of the Marvel one shots, if you will, that
monster one.
Could be. Okay. It's called a special presentation. Yeah. That's the terminology they're using now. Special presentation. It's called Punisher One Last Kill, I think. So you're gonna get the second season of Daredevil Born Again, then that special presentation of the Punisher, and then the next major release is Spider-Man Brand New Day, which we know Punisher is in.
Right. Yeah, he's in those trailers.
There's heavy rumors as well that Daredevil is going to make an appearance.
Well, I mean, he was in the last one, in the last Spider-Man film.
He certainly was, wasn't he?
He sure was.
He was the best lawyer.
And the crowd cheered so much. Man, being that experience sitting next to you in the theater was both harrowing and incredible, because this was the first film I went to in the theater during and post pandemic.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So it was.
We're back in the theater again. Haven't been around crowded.
But I gotta see the new Spider-Man film.
Yeah.
And
what a film that was too.
And it was worth it.
Yeah.
I kept going. I kept on thinking, is this going to be worth it?
Is this worth it?
Is this worth
100%.
Yeah, but
100%.
it was, and did not think yeah, glad for that.
Yes.
Hmm.
Glad for it as well.
Yeah, because I mean, if we if that had been Captain America 3, um,
Captain
which is a fine
America
film,
3. Which one was that?
Brave New World, yeah,
Oh, that's right. That is the third one, isn't it?
yeah.
Well, that's why they're not putting numbers on them. Because
Mhm.
it's not one continuous story.
Mhm.
Just like the Avengers movies aren't a continuous story.
Yeah,
But yeah, that movie was not the greatest.
yeah. It was
Wonder
fine.
Man. Wonder Man was amazing.
I am so glad to hear that, because I'm like
Oh,
I'm really every episode I've been like dialed in.
yeah,
My family's not interested, and
it's
it's like,
a different beast,
yeah,
but man, is it good.
that's
And
cool.
it sticks the landing,
Cool.
as far as I'm concerned. And they've announced a second season is coming.
That's awesome, because
So
I
yeah.
almost thought that was going to be dead on arrival, to be honest.
Yeah, it kind
Just
of felt like it was just snuck out.
Mhm.
Kind of like what they did with Moon Knight in a way of just like, yeah, just there it
Right.
is. And they
Man, I
kind of
loved Moon Knight.
Moon Knight was cool,
Yeah,
man.
good show. Good shtick. Yeah, man. So okay, thank you, because I'm gonna get back into probably this week, because I mean, this is spring break,
It is.
and so I took the week off too. So and then got my mom coming into town, and
Really?
yeah,
Hi, Martha.
yeah, hi mom. And so we're it's gonna be a nice little week, but yeah, got a couple of things that we're finally. I mean, we worked on taxes this morning. Yeah,
Yay.
I took my son's old enough now that he and I were able to take a 7 mile bike ride, my usual like,
Incredible.
and yeah, so like I've got all the endorphins going right now. It's
Still,
dude,
I envy you.
yeah, you don't get the runner's
I
high,
don't.
and
It's
that's unfortunate.
very, very mild.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's mild and rare.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it takes a good 30 minutes on the bike, but I get that, and it's like the rest of my day, nothing bad could happen.
There was a time in my past where I went to the gym every morning and I would run for 30 minutes and then lift weights. And all the time that I did that, uh, it's just grueling. There was never like I never was able to reach that point where it was like, oh wow, that was so worth it. It was always like, oh, okay, I did that. I guess that's good.
Mm,
Moving on. Like, and
man,
that's why I did never stick to that kind of stuff.
yeah.
It's because it requires this constant effort, and eventually I just get tired. I'm like, I don't want to put in the effort anymore,
Mm,
and I don't.
you poor thing.
And now I'm just a big blob.
Pizza the Hut is
Pizza,
here.
I'm gonna eat myself to death one of these days. No. Oh man, we never talked about the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer either.
When's that film coming out? It's coming out soon, right?
I think it's summer sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
May something.
are you excited about that film?
I mean, excited. I wouldn't say I'm excited,
Okay.
because I don't I don't think it needed to be a movie. Like
Yeah.
it seems like from what I've seen, it is a little bit elevated from the show, but not enough to be like
The
it depends.
production,
If
I
we get in
mean,
there and the story's like super good, I was like,
yeah.
wow, what a ride that was.
But the
Maybe.
production values on the first season, especially, was
It's really
really
good.
good. And second season was all right. And
Yeah.
then you had the Book of Boba Fett, and that happened.
That happened.
And did they have a third season after the Book of Boba Fett? They
They
did.
did.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was very much like
It was all about finding Mandalore, right? Where they like,
yeah,
yeah,
there
'cause-
was a lot of Katie Sackhoff's character,
yeah, and
um,
they got the new
Bo-Katan,
ship, which is
hot rodded up a ship.
yeah,
No,
which
no,
is
that happened in Book of Boba Fett, didn't
did
it?
that okay?
It happened somewhere else. There's all the
Gotcha.
dark saber stuff. Like it got messy.
Yeah,
It started off as it was marketed as here's a show. We're following a Mandalorian around. It's not Boba Fett. Right. This is, a lot of people they see that and they go, Boba Fett. It's not Boba Fett.
yeah,
It's a Mandalorian. If you've watched Clone Wars and stuff, there's Mandalorians around and he's a bounty hunter and he's going around and he's hunting bounties, and everyone was like, "Yes, we want that show."
Yeah.
And they
It's kind of like a like a kung
did it.
fu for the modern age, like
Sure.
David Carradine.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
of it. I don't think I've ever watched it though.
Oh,
I've never
okay.
seen Kung Fu.
Huh.
Um, but the show that we got, like, yeah, they had a surprise. They had Grogu in there.
Yeah.
And so that changed things, but it was still kind of what they advertised. It's like, yeah, he's still going to be going around catching bounties, but now he's like got this kid to watch and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And then it kind of blew up into this whole like Mandalorian mythos stuff. And you could say like, well, it is called the Mandalorian, and that's what you would call these people. They are Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So does the title actually refer to the group of people? And this has always been your plan? No. That you could spin it that way, but that's not what it was.
No.
You didn't know that you were going to get a second season.
Right.
Like,
I mean, it's like Iron Man. They didn't know.
They didn't know what was coming after.
So what you do when you do those things is you don't leave anything on the table. Like
right.
you go through and you're like, we cannot guarantee this is going to be a franchise. So we're putting everything into this, and we're going to make it as good as it possibly can be, because this is the only shot that we know that we have.
Yeah.
And when you have media that is like that, generally, that's probably a good recipe for success. But then when you're trying to build
on it,
or you're starting off with trying to build a franchise, trying to say, hey,
I mean, they're not building franchises. They are a franchise. It's just another part of the franchise.
I need to unlock.
Oh yeah, you got to unlock that.
Yeah,
that's fine. But like, so the Mandalorian the show had diminishing returns. Is this their way of wrapping up the story, or are they starting like a new chapter?
Yeah.
And some people are pointing to this as like, well, depending on the success of this, is if we get resolution to the storyline from Ahsoka, because this is all around the same time period. They're filming Ahsoka season 2 right now.
Oh, cool. Good.
And which is great. And but we have the Thrawn threat looming from the first season of Ahsoka. And
he's coming back to the galaxy.
Yeah. And some people were left behind.
Yeah.
Which they'll figure that out. But that whole storyline is a resolution to Rebels season 4. So all this stuff is connected. And yes, as a fan, I want to see it wrapped up and finished. And I hope that it's good along the way, but I'm in it either way. Like, I want to know what happens.
Yeah. I guess it's just one of those things where the amount of time in between, like the last Mandalorian season and this film, I don't think is doing it any service. Like, it's not increasing our anticipation of it. It's more just, who cares?
Yeah, it's a soft reboot is what it is.
Okay.
They're giving him his shit back. It's a different one.
But it looks the same.
It looks the same. The Razor Crest. Giving his shit back. We've got Grogu now, who has some Jedi training from good old Luke Skywalker. And you've got Mando. Like, they are such a striking duo in pop culture. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. And since it's a soft reboot, if you only ever watch the first season or only know it because of pop culture, that's enough to know what you're getting into if you're going to go see this movie. Like, oh, this is Star Wars. There's going to be aliens. And look, there's shiny Fighter Man and Little Magic Goblin. I know those people. Let's watch the movie.
There's Sigourney Weaver.
And look, Sigourney Weaver. That's cool. Crazy. Yeah. And there's this big purple alien that sounds like a cartoon that everyone's cheering about, but I don't know who that is. Yeah, Zeb's in the movie. Live action Zeb, which is amazing.
Which, I mean, he was in season 3.
He had a cameo. Yeah. Which is great. And using the voice actor from Rebels and everything, so he sounds exactly the same. And like, his appearance is on par with in the Jedi Fallen Order. I couldn't think of it. In Jedi Survivor. Cal Kestis's master was that race.
Oh, okay.
And so that was the first like live action version of that type of alien that we saw was in that video game. And this live action version of them, like, they match up. So it's consistent, which is good. That the translation from cartoon Rebels to live action is similar.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. Oh, that was
there's too much Star Wars talk to
Yeah,
talk
but
about.
you know what? I think it's time for a little bit more Star Wars talk, Stephen. What have you been watching this morning?
What's our time at?
We're
34
at
minutes.
34 minutes, man.
I watched the first episode of Maul Shadow Lord, and
Yeah.
it is peak.
Good.
It is so good.
Okay.
So right off the bat, so I watched this on my phone, sitting in my backyard this morning. So not the best circumstances.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
I'm-
this the cinematic experience is fully there.
And even then, I was blown away. So what I found is that my TV in the daytime has some really bad reflections on it,
Oh.
and a lot of shows recently have been very dark.
Yeah.
And so I watched the second episode, 5th season, For All Mankind this morning.
Yeah.
The dark scenes, I couldn't tell what was happening.
Wow.
So
and if you start off with a show called Shadow Lord,
you got it. It's not going to be very bright.
Yeah.
It's not going to be very bright. So in the backyard, in the shade, I turned the brightness of my phone all the way up, and I had no problems with reflections.
Sounds like you need a larger phone to mount on your wall.
I need a huge phone to mount on my wall. It looks so gritty in a real way. It's really evolving the animation style from that we saw in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
That then moved on to like Bad Batch. It's that same like not marionette style, but they have been putting layers on it to make it better and better and better over the years.
Yeah, and I mean, starting season 3 of Clone Wars, it's just like there's nothing else that looks like this, and then it's just incredible.
Season 7 was like another big jump. Their final season looked really well.
Like every so I remember watching some of the behind the scenes, and they were talking about like how each season they would work on a little piece of tech. And I think like season 4 they worked on explosions.
Oh, okay.
Where they're like, hey, we're going to focus on explosions this season in terms of the animation, and then on they had
better explosions.
Yeah. It's just absolutely incredible. But yeah.
So the show has the art style is incredible. It's just been evolved another step forward. It so far that one episode, which is about 30 minutes, a little longer than the standard 22-minute that the others are. It was a bank heist and a jailbreak.
Oh,
both happen in the episode.
Okay.
It's very crime. Which makes sense because
it's Maul.
It's all about Maul building up his Shadow Collective.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the point of view of like the cops and the point of view of like Maul's crew. And then there's a third point of view of what appears to be, and if you've seen the trailers, a Jedi and the Jedi's apprentice in hiding in the same area. And it seems that Maul is going after the apprentice for some reason. Maybe he wants an apprentice of his own, or Padawan, I should say, I guess. And so just in that one episode, the action was excellent. The vibe, the theme of it all was very dark. Voice work was amazing. It was just like it was firing on all cylinders, if you will. It was just banger from start to finish, and I can't wait to watch because 2 episodes premiered. And so there's another episode waiting for me, and I can't wait to get to it. Very excited about that.
Okay, cool.
We got to move on. We're already at the nearly 40-minute point. My science is going to get pushed off another week.
You think so?
I do, because you need to talk about your name right now.
Okay, so
this is future or now?
Now. So, big thanks to Matt, our correspondent from across the field.
Field adjacent correspondent.
So Matt, several years ago, we were hanging out, and he was like, "There's this anime that I watched that you gotta see, and it's called Your Name. It came out in 2016, and it's about an hour 46 minutes long. And it's PG. It is, gosh, how can I explain it? It's a sci-fi love story about two people. One girl who lives in a small town in Japan, and one boy, high school boy that lives in Tokyo, and they body swap. And while they're body swapping, it's like they're having dreams of being in the other person's body for like the whole day.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah, and so
But it's real.
right,
But
yes,
they're
yeah,
actually inhabiting the other person's
they're
body.
actually inhabiting the other person's body. They don't know anything about like the background of the people that they're in.
Right. You're in a complete stranger's body.
Yeah,
Feels like a dream, but it's not.
right. Now,
Crazy.
Flint, or when Matt was like explaining this to me, he's like, "There's some stuff in it that might be a little bit risque for the kid." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And basically, it's just when when the boy wakes up in the girl's body, he notices that he has breasts,
As you would.
as someone would. And so
There's a scene about that.
The little sister walks in, and he's just like grabbing the
Grabbing himself.
and she's like, "What are you doing? It's breakfast time. Get downstairs." Like, you're
I'm busy.
yeah. So that's the milieu that's all starting off, and as they are, they kind of work out a way to communicate with each other by leaving diary messages in their phones about like,
Okay.
"Oh, here's what I ended up doing for you today. Here's what you have to expect."
Oh, okay.
And so like she's helping him like set up dates that with like his crush, and like this woman he works for or works with, and so it's really cute, but hiding right underneath the surface, about halfway through the film, it becomes a film about how do we stop a cataclysmic event using time travel.
What? I was on board.
Yeah.
I was so on board.
But I'm just telling you that like
there's more to it.
There's more to it than what is being, and through it becomes even more of an incredible piece of work.
So it works.
Yes, completely works.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and like it's ties to Japanese folklore are and kind of like, so evidently there's a portion of Japanese folklore which is like there's a god of being able to communicate through time.
Okay, that's cool.
And this isn't explained in the film, but this is something that Matt was telling me
Oh,
afterwards.
all right.
He's like, yeah, and it turns out that the only way to communicate is through the power of love. There's only one message you can communicate through time, and it's "I love you."
Okay.
And in this film, that is a throw line of this.
So like Interstellar.
Yes, it's like Interstellar. So yeah, this
Say less, fam. I'm in.
So anyhow, I would say, unlike Arco, which I think is family friendly, I would say that this is way more on the like preteen teen.
Oh, it's more mature.
It's more mature.
Yeah.
It's a PG film,
Right.
But like, and there's but it's. I would say that this is more for the older kids.
Yeah.
And it's a nice little love story. It's beautifully animated.
The trailer that you showed me looks beautiful.
Like
it really does.
Man, yeah. And then the soundtrack of it is also really, really good. The band, they got a particular Japanese band to do the entire soundtrack, and I'm pulling up
that's the song that was in the trailer.
Yeah.
Was one of the, they did this like almost like not folklore, folksy, but then there's like this weird skipping that they do, like electronic math rock.
Yeah, it's math rock.
I have math rocks. I call them nights.
Oh yeah, very good, very good. So the band's called Rad Wimps.
Oh, okay.
And the soundtrack is really incredible. And yeah, like it's it feels like, I mean, if you're into the band May or American football, the kind of gist of like very complicated, uh, arpeggios in acoustic guitars
Yeah.
with, you know, that's really catchy. That's kind of the vibe
Uh-huh.
of the soundtrack, and like the whole thing is it's really good. It did have like one issue where like near the end it kind of felt like maybe there was too many epilogues,
Okay.
but like I was still there for it. I was like, man, this movie's going on a little long, but I want to see what they're going to give me more. Like,
Okay.
I need to see more.
You got the closure, but it's such a good story that you don't mind that there's a little extra.
Yeah, well, more just like, how long is this movie? I don't want to interrupt my enjoyment of it to check how long it's going to be.
Oh
But I
yeah.
am kind of curious. Like,
This feels like it's been wrapping up for a while. What's happening?
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay,
Where
I
is
gotcha.
this going?
Yeah.
And it goes surprising places. And so yeah, it's funny because there are hints to what comes in the back half throughout the entire thing.
Oh, cool.
And when I picked up on it, Matt, I mentioned it. Matt's like, that's not one of the things I would have thought you would have picked up on.
Oh.
And
He thinks
so
you're dumb. He thinks you're a big old
yeah,
dummy.
because I usually am a pretty big old dummy, but at this point he was like, "Oh wow, I didn't see that." Like he hadn't seen that as evidence of what's going on.
Okay, he missed it.
He missed it, and it
Oh,
was
he
one
thinks
of the
you're a
few
smarty.
things- It's one of the few things I caught. I didn't catch the other stuff, but like, yeah.
Alright.
So it's yeah, but it
Cool.
they've got to save the town from
From the thing.
from a from a very cataclysmic event that's
But do they use love?
to save the town.
Yeah.
No.
Also automatic weapons. There's lots of ninjas.
So many ninjas, so many, yeah. But no, it's a very, like, despite everything, it's kind of a very grounded
Oh,
film.
interesting. Okay.
It's a teenage love story.
Got it.
It just happens that these two characters are swapping bodies,
Yeah.
and yeah,
That's how they hook you. You
Mhm.
get hooked by the body swap, but you stay for the cataclysm
yeah,
saving.
for an entire town that's doomed to be hit by chunks of a comet
Oh,
and obliterated from the face of the planet.
beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful.
So,
All right.
yeah. Anyhow,
So-
your name.
Your name.
Your
Where
name.
if I wanted to watch this, I know that we've covered that you watch things differently than how
I
us
do.
plebeians watch things.
So
How would I be able to watch this?
looking through the like on YouTube,
Yeah.
it looks like you can probably watch it on Crunchyroll. It
Okay.
may be on HBO Max.
Yeah, because they have a thing, or they had a thing with Crunchyroll for a while. I
Yeah.
don't know if they still do.
Yeah, maybe. It says here watch with HBO Max, but who knows, given the, fifth time this year that they've raised the price on HBO Max.
And also change the name again.
Yeah, right.
Idiot.
So yeah, but it's one where, like, or you could go to your local library. It was very well regarded. It was one of, like, on many people made their best of lists for films of 2016, and
So this is already a 10-year-old film.
yeah.
Incredible.
Right, time moves on.
It does.
And I'm so glad that I found out about this. Thank you, Matt. And yeah, I'm stoked.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, but I know we're at 40. So here's the thing. I know we're at 48 minutes.
Yes, we are.
We've been pushing your thing, out.
We
quite a bit.
have.
But the story this week is a poem.
Right.
That is not very long. In fact, I would imagine we'd probably just read the entire poem.
Well,
and then discuss it.
I have so many thoughts about this poem.
Yeah. But so I am down to go with what we've been punting down the line, or we can skip it. I guess I'll leave it to you.
I really want to skip it simply because I was planning on rereading the article
Okay.
because it's been like over a month.
Yeah.
and I didn't get a chance to.
Okay, well then there we go. So if
I was
anybody,
gonna wing it. I was really
Yeah.
gonna wing it, but I don't think we need to wing it.
if anybody is curious, too bad.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little break now.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we will have our book club, and we're going to be reading a poem by Kathleen Summerberg called "The O'Neill Cylinder in Geostationary Orbit Above Earth's Equator." So, hang around, and we will be right back.
Hey, you. Yeah, you, sitting there listening to this for free, like some kind of podcast freeloader. Look, I'm not saying you owe us, but if you enjoy our deep dives into AI, space, and comic book mayhem, maybe toss a coin to your podcasters. Join our Patreon, get into our Discord, grab some exclusive content, and finally achieve that deep, satisfying sense of superiority over your non-Patreon listeners. Just imagine their sad, uninformed little faces. Patreon.com/Science Faction Podcast, because knowledge is power, and power is best hoarded behind a paywall.
And we're back.
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, Steven. And a big thank you to our patrons, Renee and Josh. You guys got a lot of interesting info about board games and tribute bands.
Tribute bands?
Mid-pod.
A big mid-pod. I think that took up all of our post-pod time.
Yeah, very much so. Well, next week for the book club, we're going to be reading from Lightspeed Magazine a story called Terms of Enlightenment by Patrick Hurley. But this week, we are reading The O'Neill Cylinder in Geostationary Orbit Above Earth's Equator by Kathleen Summerberg. And do we jump into I think that because this is it's a poem.
Yeah, this is a poem. This is our first poem that we've book clubbed.
Yeah,
if you would allow me to verb that.
Most verbs like that I look at it as like, if you chair someone, you throw a chair at them. So we're throwing a book club at you all.
Yeah, I cherish that thought of you chairing people.
I overchair sometimes.
You do. Sometimes you overchair.
Back in high school, I silver chaired. And,
oh, no. You frog stomper.
And here we are.
All right. So first of all, there's warnings. Yeah. This page contains disregard for personal autonomy. So if that's a trigger for you, consider yourself warned. I think we're going to read this thing.
Yeah, we'll go
stanza by stanza,
and then we'll stop.
And we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You want to take the first one?
Sure. The Sisyphus cylinder does not rest. It carries us all in its hollow rib cage, orbit after orbit, a pressure cooker of breath and sweat.
All right, so we're talking about a habitat in orbit.
Yeah.
I think that's what that's saying.
And I mean, like, I'm immediately drawn to the fact that they call it the Sisyphus cylinder, right? So Sisyphus, of course, being the man whose his entire shtick is, for eternity, he's rolling a giant boulder up a hill, and he will never be done.
I wouldn't call it a shtick so much as a punishment. And I think that's the point of using it in this story, is that being alive in this cylinder is your punishment. It's humanity's punishment. Let's continue.
All right.
I mean, you got the pressure cooker of breath and sweat. Doesn't exactly seem like a fun time.
And a hollow rib cage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow. What a... Yeah.
In the narrow night, screens flicker across this arching ceiling. Stars projected, always the same. Sometimes they glitch. Constellations split. Heaven replaced by ad slogans. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So, okay, all right. So when I think about the O'Neill cylinder, I think about some megastructures in sci-fi. Like, I think about the Citadel in Mass Effect.
Sure.
Like, that's what I see. I see Babylon 5.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see?
What do I see? Something like 2001, Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
You typically, like, my whole idea here, maybe something from like The Expanse,
Okay.
because I'm thinking of a big rotating something to create artificial gravity.
Mhm.
That's what's stuck in my mind.
Yeah. But the cylinder and I don't know. It's but like, man, heaven replaced by ad slogans. I mean,
Yeah,
that
that goes
is
hard.
that is a clear indictment of our time,
Uh-huh.
of the technological state that we're in right now, right?
100%.
And
Oh, you want something? Well, you have to watch this ad first. And this is just exponentially gone to, oh, you want to look outside at the night sky? You need to watch this ad first.
Mhm.
Oh, how horrifying.
I mean, think about what was the Afterlife show, where the in society, when everybody dies, they have their consciousnesses uploaded.
Oh, upload.
Upload.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah.
upload. Yeah, yeah.
And
Remember
but because it's run by corporations,
that.
it means if you don't pay, you have a reduced experience. You do
Yes.
not have an ad-free experience of the afterlife. And
Can you imagine monetizing the afterlife? I guess that's the whole point of that show. That's
right,
that's crazy.
but that's like, here we are. We're looking at this, and whenever you hear about the idea of privatizing space, right?
Mhm.
This is a very, like, this is where the potential of horror
Yeah,
of that is.
this is where it'll take us, to
Right.
something like this.
Yeah.
The latest episode of For All Mankind, they show more of the Martian base,
Oh yeah.
and to the point where there's like a promenade with a Starbucks and
Uh-huh.
I think a McDonald's. There was a fast food. Maybe it wasn't McDonald's, but it was like, yeah, like once we get to space, the companies are coming too.
Right, but like at the same time, then you have Dev's like plan for building his little
It's
utopia.
utopia that's I doubt will ever get off the ground.
Right. Well, but who would live in this utopia? Who would not be allowed to live in Dev's utopia?
Ayesa.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who's gonna work there?
Right.
Where do those
Yeah.
people live? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
It's and so it's just one more, like, we try to escape Earth, but we keep bringing the baggage
We keep
wherever
bringing
we
humans
go.
with us.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
The corporations are coming with us, and so then you get heaven replaced by ad slogans. Now they call this a glitch in the poem, but is I imagine it's probably acting just as designed.
Yeah.
If it's an ad slogan, that seems
That's by design.
not a glitch. Shall we move on?
Yeah, next one.
All right. Stalls packed tight with smoke and spice, voices layered louder than engines. The air tastes of pepper and frying oil. An open mouth tricks an empty belly. The bells ring tripolette to signal end of leisure, back to labor. We are pressed against one another like grain in a millstone, ground to flour by rotation.
This feels like humanity fighting back.
Okay.
to me. Or maybe not fighting back, but surviving at any opposition.
I mean,
right.
the idea here being that, end of leisure back to labor. Like, we're still bringing, like, if we have not, we look at Star Trek and we go, that would be great. That utopia would be great. Well, that comes from hard earned, like, lack of scarcity. Like,
Yeah.
there's no scarcity in
It didn't happen by
Star Trek.
magic.
Right.
We had to work for it.
Right. But they had the lack of scarcity before they started traveling
Yeah.
interstellar, right?
Yeah.
And so if we don't learn those lessons first, if we don't clean up Earth, we're gonna get this.
Yeah, it'll just follow with us. What I like about this passage or this stanza, is it feels like it's humanity existing despite where they are.
Mhm.
Right. Stalls packed tight, bad, with smoke and spice, good. Voices layered louder than engines. people are more important than machines. The air of pepper and frying oil, like the whole thing about food, um, and then like the bells to signal end of leisure back to labor. There's always going to have to be some form of work involved in being human. You
Hmm.
have to work for things, and this is kind of a way of saying like, yeah, we have leisure, we have work. They both have their place. And also, as we are pressed against one another like grain in a millstone, ground to flour by rotation, you could take that as being bad, but I take it as being good. You
Huh.
can't eat grain, but you can eat flour, right? If you put in the work, you will get something out of it.
So I see it as work without the people getting the value out of it, right? An open
Sure.
mouth tricks an empty belly. Yeah, they're singing, they're shouting, but underneath there's the empty belly still, right?
Hmm.
And like that difference. I mean, the question here is the empty belly being, well, the hollow cylinder that they're living in, or the empty bellies of the people that are working hard to keep a system, uh, you know, up and running, but are not reaping the benefits of it.
So with that line, I didn't understand an open mouth tricks an empty belly. I didn't quite get that line. Empty belly, like how you just said, could be where they're living or simply a lack of food. But how does an open mouth trick that? Is that saying what you are saying is not being true to what you're getting in return? Like you're speaking about we need to work, and yet you are also starving.
So the air tastes of pepper and frying oil. So they can taste the pepper and frying oil in the air,
Okay.
but their bellies are still empty.
Oh,
Right. It's the
okay.
way
So
I
it's a
read it.
scarcity thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
And so, it's just
it's not enough.
and the
There's
people
still
are just
capitalism.
right. Yep. Still capitalism.
All right, let's move on to the next bit.
All right.
Factories are stacked on factories. Cable cars sway on fraying lines. Machines spill into rivers. Every park already swallowed by stacks of scrap shacks.
The language in this poem is
Yeah,
incredible.
it's
Oh
visceral.
man.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly a downturn. Factories stacked on factories, that's never good.
Uh-huh.
Cable cars on a fraying line, you're not keeping up with maintenance, that's not good. Machines spill into rivers, pollution, not good. Like this is the stanza of the bad.
Yeah. Yeah. If you didn't already have that in your head, this is
I mean, this pretty much says overpopulation,
right.
right? There is and people are this the station is overpopulated, cannot keep up with maintenance. Doesn't matter how many factories we build, it's not going to be enough.
Or it's populated to support a an agenda the that is not for all, right? It's for the ad slogans. It's for how do we make money? How do we,
Right.
the Sisyphus cylinder, like where this bright future that you're working towards, that everybody is kind of agreed, oh, we will suffer now for a brighter future. But this is the Sisyphus cylinder. There's no brighter future.
No,
The rock is going to keep on rolling down the hill.
yeah, I mean, we'll get through the last stanza here, but this really feels like these people. This is a this is always going to be pushed up a hill. These people you'll never evolve beyond this, nor will things be worse than this. It will always be this.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read the last
Here we
stanza.
go. The last
talk all of it.
stanza. All right. Praise the spin. Praise the gravity it fakes. Praise the river running upside down, where children play in the reflection of 1,000 overlapping dawns. Sisyphus rolls on. We are his stone.
So yeah, this is a group of people that are being pushed by Sisyphus. Not literally, but like it's out of their control. They are being spun in the cylinder. Their lives are not going to change. It's going to keep on going. And praise the spin. Yeah, you need to have gravity. Praise the gravity it fakes. Yep. Praise the rivers running upside down. The children play in the reflection of 1,000 overlapping dawns. I mean, that's at least showing that there is some hope with these people. But it is fleeting because his just rolls on. We are his stone.
I mean, if you're praising these things, like, is that not just another level of control, right?
I mean, if you're praising, yeah, like it, like we don't have people right now like praise gravity, otherwise we'd fly off into space. But these people have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is what else is a constant in their lives? It's the spin, it's the gravity, it's the work, it's the tolling bells. Yeah, this is. I mean, another title for this: capitalist hellscape starship.
The USS Capitalist Hellscape.
Yeah,
Yeah, indeed.
it's what an interesting poem. It really has its own vibe, its own feeling. It feels unique. It's cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm a poet, poem newbie. So,
Okay,
as someone experienced with poetry,
yeah.
Ben, how do you rate this? What do you think about this?
I mean, I think so. There, it takes a lot to write a good poem,
Mm-hmm.
right? It takes something that, like a story that grabs you. It takes, in many cases, something like this with this sort um, of subject matter and language can be really difficult to make it accessible. You know, I think that a lot of poems, a lot of poems I write, I struggle with accessibility. I go, okay, well, how is this going to be read? How, you know, and this poem, for such incredible subject matter that is unlike what we go through,
Mm-hmm.
it uses enough of what we do go through, especially what we have seen in the last, you know, in this decade that we live in,
Yeah.
of turmoil and upheaval, and you know, and a lot of this, like this rings so true. And so, yeah, like this is a win on a bunch of different levels. And what's wild is that when we chose this, much like oftentimes we, you know, we don't do our homework, you guys. Most of the time, when when we pick something for book club, it's like we're frantically just finding something that is going to work, and we're going like, well, hey, we're rolling the dice on this. None of us have read this. This one was not read by either of us beforehand. And
Well, I think I read the first line and was like, I'm in.
Okay,
This will be interesting enough to talk about, and I was right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And even if it isn't, at least it's brief, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we read the whole thing here as we were talking about it.
For the whole thing to be brief and that packed,
Mhm.
like that takes. I mean, Katlina Sommerberg, Z lives in Brazil, and they're kind of interested in cyberpunk, eco-criticism, and mythic fantasy, according to Zer's uh, bio on their website.
Cool.
And so, yeah, just like ecological surrealism is Zer's signature style. So, yeah, like all of it, I'm here for and really, really fascinated by. So I'm probably gonna try to find more of Zer work because it's I'm in.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was it for book club this week. Once again, links are in the show notes if you'd like to enjoy that yourself. Next week, Terms of Enlightenment by Patrick Hurley. And again, links in the show notes for that. Hopefully next week, Devin will be back with us. If not, he's probably still sick or pretending. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Poor guy.
He's in Texas.
Yeah, you know, bless him. Praise be the Sisyphean rock he finds himself under.
Praise be gravity in Texas.
Praise be the electric grid in Texas.
The electric grid.
Yeah, man.
It sounds like something from man, a canticle for Leibowitz. That's a that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
It's one of the inspirations for Fallout.
Oh, okay.
And it's a famous piece of sci-fi that is often referenced in things. For example, a character in it, because it's like a post-apocalyptic monastery situation, and they are given artifacts to like catalog humanity, something like that, if I remember correctly. And one of the things was like an old grocery list that they cannot figure out what it is, what it's for, what the meaning of like ham and eggs and milk, like it's just that kind of reminded me of that.
Wow. All right.
Anyways,
Yeah. Very cool.
Can't go for Leibowitz. Jeez. All right. Do you have any final thoughts for us this week, Ben?
Yeah, my internet went down for 5 minutes yesterday, so I went downstairs and met my family. They seem like nice people.
Good night, everybody.
This has been the Science Faction Podcast. Tweet to the host at SciFact Podcast. Email them at sciencefactionpodcast@gmail.com and visit sciencefactionpodcast.com for more episodes.